Hello Team Powersports fans, and welcome back to the TPS Motovlog. My name is Sarah, and I'm going to be guiding you around the town of Garner, North Carolina, today on the Rebel 1100 DCT. This beautiful cruiser right here is the topic of today's discussion. Now, we get a lot of requests for bikes that we should review on the TPS Motovlog, and unfortunately, I am limited by what comes in for sale, what gets traded and used. So I do see the requests, and I'm going to try and get to these more popular motorcycles as I can. Unfortunately, I'm limited by what I have access to. So, Rebel 1100, super cool motorcycle, and it's part of Honda's new series of Rebels. These aren't like the old 250 Rebel. They're not even like the old 450 Rebel from the 80s. They make a 300, a 500, and an 1100 Rebel. Now, the 300 and 500 are cool because they're very small, more compact size cruisers, but they're based on the CBR and CBR 300 and CBR 500 engine and transmission. So you get a compact cruiser with a sport bike motor and a 6-speed transmission, which means that you're actually getting a little bit better performance, a little bit more nimble handling character than like an old school style cruiser. And the Rebel 1100 is no different. The 1100 motor for the Rebel 1100 is sourced from the Africa Twin 1100. It's a parallel twin and uses a 6-speed manual or DCT transmission. DCT, of course, meaning dual clutch, so it has the option of shifting automatically. And actually, we'll just go ahead and climb aboard. Now, this is a pre-owned model, so it has a couple of mods that you won't see on a brand new one. The crash cage there is aftermarket. It's got these little T-Rex extended floorboards on both sides to give you a little bit more of a cruisery ride feel. The standard pegs would be about, we'll call it 5 inches back. So it's not a huge difference, but if you're over 5'9" or 5'10", it will give you a little bit more relaxed ride position. This one also has, I don't know if you can see that back there, a luggage rack on the back. Now, Rebel 1100. The regular, I say regular, but the manual transmission model will have a clutch and a shifter in the usual place. With the DCT, on the right hand, you have neutral and drive selectors, and this switch does automatic and manual selection. So what that does is when you put it in drive, you just turn the throttle and it shifts automatically. If you switch to manual mode, you use a trigger up here on the front of the control to shift up and a paddle here on the back of the control to shift down. Pretty cool. So you can actually go between the two different modes. So it'll give you a little bit more variety on how you would enjoy the motorcycle. Now, in the automatic mode, you also have the mode selection switches over here. We'll get to that in a second. But you can actually make it a little bit spicier on the throttle or not as spicy. And that also, when you change the drive mode, it changes where the shift point is going to come in. So it'll actually hold it further to redline if you're in the sport mode versus if you're in the economy mode. So let's get on my thick winter gloves because for whatever reason, here on the mid of March in Garner, North Carolina, it is 50 degrees outside, so we're a little chilly. That is, of course, Fahrenheit. It's kind of crazy because like every work day it's been like super nice, and every day I've had off it's been freezing, and now here I am at work thinking, well, I'll do a motovlog, it'll be nice, and it's freezing. So here we go, keys in an unusual place right down here next to the back of the cylinders. Switch her over to the on position, and of course innately I reach for the clutch, but we start in neutral and I hold down on the starter. And she fires up. Now, you do have some little lights that come on when you first fire up the Rebel. So neutral obviously goes away when you put it in drive. This is the Honda selectable torque control, and the ABS lights, that was the high beam indicator that was on as well. The selectable torque control and ABS lights will actually turn off after you've ridden a little ways. Because it takes a while for the wheels, the computer to calculate the wheel speed, and then it'll say, okay, everything's fine, the systems turn off. You shouldn't see them again until you slide a wheel or lock up the brakes. So you notice this one is in sport mode, and that's power, torque, and engine braking are the three variables that you're choosing between. So if I go to standard, it's the middle power, torque, engine braking, and if I go to rain mode, less power, more torque, less engine braking. And then user mode would let me go through and customize how I would want all of those things. So if it were me, I'd probably choose something, oh wait, you know what? It's power, traction, engine braking. Yep, power, traction, engine braking. So if it were me, I would probably have power all the way up, traction all the way down, and engine braking all the way up so that it would ride a little more aggressively, because guess what? That's how I like to ride. So I'm actually going to start this one off in the rain mode, which would be the least aggressive drive mode. And of course, once again, reaching for the clutch. And I'm going to reach for the shifter at some point today too. So here we go. We're going to put her in drive. And just do a nice little easy lap around the parking lot. See how that goes. You'll notice that the selectable torque control light and the ABS light have already gone out. And we're already in second at 15 miles per hour. I let off. And we're back to first at 10 miles per hour. And all is well and good in the world. Now, one complaint that I've heard from people about these bikes is, oh, you know, the low-speed maneuvering. Oh, there's no low-speed maneuvering because you can't feather the clutch. Well, you know what? You can't feather the clutch, but you can feather the gas. And you can get down to where this thing is just barely creeping around. Give it a little gas. Now, I'm not going to try and do the MSF figure 8. But the point is, it's once you get accustomed to the motorcycle, and TPS fans, this is the first time that I've jumped on one in a long time, so I don't want you to think I was practicing beforehand. I literally rode it back to our fuel caddy and then brought it back around front. So maybe 30 seconds of saddle time before I started shooting the video. So as long as you're not twitchy on the throttle, as long as you're using the drive modes correctly, if you're planning on doing any kind of low-speed maneuvering, it's actually fine. Because all you have to do is put it in the weaker mode, the rain mode, and be easy on the throttle, and the throttle will be easy on you. Now, I'm not interested in having this thing shift on me at 15 miles per hour, so we'll go ahead and select the standard mode and go get out on the open highway. Interestingly, that also shifted up to second at 15 and down to first at 10, but we'll see how it behaves when we get out on the road. Here we go! One of the other mods on this Rebel 1100 is that it does have an upgraded exhaust, so it is a little throatier than what it would be from the factory, and I think it sounds extremely pleasant. So, you'll notice, I don't know if you can see that that dark illuminated dashboard, but we're already in 6th gear at 45 miles an hour. Which is probably not where I would be on my motorcycle. But I think that's a Honda thing. I think that it's specifically designed to be conservative, even in the, what they're going to call the standard mode. Can I manually downshift? Whoa! Whoa! That's cool! I didn't know it could do that. It appears as though the motorcycle lets you I just downshifted in the auto mode and it let me downshift in the auto, which is cool. I did not think it would let me do that. But to be fair, I haven't spent a lot of time on the 1100 DC. Well, TPS fans, unfortunately I'm going to have to finish the rest of this motovlog here in the parking lot due to some technical difficulties with my helmet cam. We're doing this now on my actual camera. Always a fun time. So the Rebel 1100, I know that you saw me going through the parking lot, accelerating, doing the stuff. I guess my final thoughts are that the DCT system is a lot more intuitive than you think it is. It lets you upshift and downshift while you're still in the automatic transmission mode, which is really cool. I will say one complaint that I had is it's a little unpredictable on the downshifts, so it's probably better if you're riding this motorcycle and you want to do any kind of low speed turn or maneuver, you're going to want to manually downshift it just to make sure that it's not going to change the torque while you're in the corner. But other than that, I mean, the seating position is great. The handling is excellent for a mid-size cruiser. The style is excellent. Didn't have a chance to get on the highway and play with that cruise control, but I will say that all in all, I enjoyed the experience as much as I enjoy riding any manual transmission motorcycle. And if the Rebel 1100 DCT or the Africa Twin DCT or the NC750X DCT, the Goldwing DCT, you know, Honda has a lot of these DCT models out now. They're worth checking out. I mean, it's surprisingly intuitive, and I don't really feel like it took away from any of the fun of motorcycling. We've got this one and many more to choose from here at Team Power Sports in Garner. So if you are interested in taking a look at this pre-owned one, it is actually for sale here at TPS Garner. We've got some other awesome bikes to choose from. You can find us here, 222 US 70 East in Garner, North Carolina. We're on the web at www.team-powersportsgarner.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We got a hashtag TPSNC. We're at Team Powersports. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed the motovlog. Sorry for the little camera flummox there, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.